Okay, we are back, finishing up and doing the epic boss battle. So I think for the boss, if we create it empty, well, I'll stick it here and call this boss specials. And take our boss and we're going to child him into that. And now on our boss specials, we can add an animator there and animation, and we can animate his movements. So for example, we can do, say, boss enter level, right? And for this, we could very easily grab our boss, even though we're animating this, but we're going to take its children now. Oh. Enter. Alright, we can take this guy. Okay, we need to let's temporarily. Alright, we're going to remove that. Alright. Now that should work. I don't know if the animator likes to be animated. So the boss, if we take the boss and we say, I don't know, we'll stick him up here, scale him to just tiny, and scale his colors, make sure we have some stuff all keyed in for us now. So boss entry, if we go like this, and I literally now just take the boss and go, I don't know, say drag him, put him here, and say about halfway, we go like that. He's now, whoop, got more of this hop, and then as we hit, say here, well, okay, at this point in time, we're going to hit 4. So we also apparently don't want them that low either. So now we have this going like that. And when he hits, let's, okay, so we're at 4. And here, we're going to come over here, and we'll take that to a 5, 6, 3. Put him back on the ground. And then we'll put him up to a 5 and 3.5. Put him on the ground. And go to a 4, 4. And put him on the ground. So if I hit play, we get a super fast jump. We probably need to expand all that out. Yeah. There we go. So here we have this. Now we're going to want this guy's position, right? So the boss has entered level. Now we can say boss from enter go right. It's going to be a pretty specific, right? So we know he was right there. And by here, we want him there, right? And we don't want him just sliding over. So halfway mark, we're going to go up. There we have this little hop. Ba-doop. Ba-doop. There we go. Okay. So, boss idle right. And we're going to make sure we're in the right spot. I'm just going to go over here, click on him, copy, boss idle right, record, and paste. And we're going to go over and key, stop record. So now we have this idle. He's sitting on the right. Okay. Now we also need, actually with that said, we want to make sure that that is on the off. And we're also going to make sure color wise he is white, because we're going to play with this color. The scale are 4. And we're going to play with the rotation, so we'll make sure that's keyed in there. And then we are going to do a boss idle left, to which we are going to have him sit over here. And he needs to be facing that way. Play with the color. Play with these. And go over here and key those in. So now we have that. So we could say, let's take this and go boss roll left to right. So we can now go, let's stick him there. We know he's like this. And we'll say by the 130 mark, we want him here and like that. Right? Doesn't look like much. So over here, we are going to take him and we're going to put him up here, and we're going to start spinning him. And then we are literally just going to, from here, we're going to go, we want him to fall back down. We're going to spin him again. We're going to stick him here. And then from here, we are going to go every few frames. Not going to be too worried about how even it is. It's kind of a cartoony thing, so if it's a little uneven, I'm okay with that. But by all means, if you want to do the math and break up angles over time, that is entirely up to you. here, we want to make sure he sits like that. Okay. So now, if we hit play, we got this kind of weird rolling action. I can live with that. It's not perfect, but hey. Alright, so what if we did boss? We can do another roll from the right to the left, but let's do crazy hop. Right to left. Okay. So we know we're starting here. And at this point in time, we want to be here. Okay, so let's go from here. We're going to go at the 15 frames. We're going to go up, and then 15 frames after that, we're going to come down. 15 frames after that, we're going to go up. 15 frames after that, we're going to come down. 15 frames, we go up, and we come down. Now we have this big old kind of crazy hop. It's a little curvy, a little kind of wavy. A lot of easy ways to solve that. Right, you come up. For example, you copy his position. We go over a few frames, paste that position. So he has a bit of a pause, and then we're going to come down a little closer here. And doing this kind of thing is you kind of add on, like, so it's more of a, like, I don't know if you can see the real difference there, right? Compared to that, like the first kind of hop compared to the second hops, he's got this kind of more of a harder stomp compared to those second hops. I'm not going to bother doing that with the rest of them, I don't think. Well, you know, it's not like it's that hard, I guess. And let's paste it. You can even just kind of move it up just slightly, kind of idea. You come down, and we're going to come over here more. We want that to be a harder, sharper curve. We're going to come down, we're going to paste that again, so he's a brief pause. And then here, we're going to actually adjust that. Copy and paste, and this is when I think we'll do the flip. Okay, so then we can have up here, we can do our kind of 3, 5, right? So he does that hop up, and we're going to squash him here. And then we're going to come down, but during the down, we'll go to the 3, 5, and we hit, and we'll go 6, 3. And then from here, we need to go to the 3, 5, and here to the, we'll just kind of go back to normal there. And then here we'll go to the 3, 5. Do the squash effect. Let's go 5, 3. Back up here. Go to the 3, 5. Go back to a normal. And we'll do a little bit of a squash here. And go back to a 4-4. Alright, so now it's like a boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now we have this kind of weird, crazy hop. Looks kind of cool. Alright. So now we have him, we can have the special attack when we're coming, we're on this side, and we got this other one, we're going to the other side. What else could we do? Let's go right to center, explode. Okay. So we are sitting here, and we need to be, say, here. Oh, well, no. I totally screwed that one up, didn't I? Say at the 30-second mark, we're going to go here. So we're at the halfway mark. We're going to climb up to here. Boop. And once we hit here, okay, so this will be important. So over here we'll do our 3-5, and we will copy, and we're just going to slightly move them. Paste, slightly move a little more, go 4-4, but more importantly, we're going to make sure we play with the color, the sprite. That's probably good. So over here we want to make sure that color is white. We don't want to, if we don't key it in when he goes into another thing, he might get stuck with a certain color, right? As he comes here, I guess we're going to have to go here like this. Go 4-4. Alright, so once he's here though, I think what we'll do is we will key in. Maybe we will scale. We're going to scale on flat out, make them smaller. And we're going to go a little bit. We're going to make them bigger. Go a little bit. We'll make them smaller. Go a little bit. Make them bigger. I'll go a little bit. Make them smaller. I'll go a little bit, and we're gonna go big. So now we should have this kind of this pulsing. Okay, let's just expand those out a little bit from those ones. And the other thing we want to do is here, we are going to go red. Come back over here, we're going to go white, go a few frames, okay, here we want to make sure, yeah, see how he's got this always kind of this red tinge, so if we go here, he's red, here, okay, no, we'll say here, he goes white. So he goes red, white. Right, so we come over here and say right here maybe we're going to go red. A few frames before, go white. A few frames after, go white. And then we'll come over here and we'll go red. Actually, let's, yeah. I don't want to get too confused, so let's not go too crazy. Come over here and go red. Frame before, go white. Frame, couple frames after, go white. And red again. And white. White. And then let's go red. And here we're going to stay red. And then over here we're going to hit 7. It's going to get super big. And at this point in time he would explode. We'll have to do some particles, and we're going to have this guy's sprite changing as well. It'll be almost like a procedural thing. So when he explodes, let's... Okay, so scale is 7. Now the very next frame is going to go 0. And then we're going to make sure to move his position so it hasn't really changed. And then over here we are going to, I don't know, I'll stick him up here maybe. And scale of 1, 0. So his scale is still 0, so he's moved. Next frame 4. His color can go back to white. And then from here we're going to go right there. Only during this, let's do our squash effect. Alright, so that's one's a little excessive. That landing might be a little rough. Okay. So there we have that. Now you're probably thinking like, what the ever living hell? So we're going to enter and we're going to go that way. So we are on the right. Is right. You probably need that. So from the right, we can do, we're going to go from that to a idle on the right. And we have an idle on the left. We can roll from the left to the right. Just like that. And we can do crazy hop from right to left. that. And we can also do the explosion on the right side. And it also goes to the idle left side. Okay, so we need a trigger for a special attack. So if we're on idle right and we do a special attack, we can special attack. If we're here and we get the special attack, we are going to do special attack. I guess we don't need this one. Let's do explode. So that is explode, no exit time. I guess we don't have a death for him either yet. We'll worry about that after. So there we have a boss. Now we have sprites. So what's going to be the easiest way to control these sprites the way we want them to control? As I don't think, and I very well could be wrong about this, let's stick an animator on here, give him the boss, because that's boss specials. Let's unmaximize play and hit play. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it is working. It just wouldn't let us do it when it had the animator on it. Okay, good. So we can, so under boss specials, I can say special. And I can say special. And I can say explode. Oh, well, I can almost use some work. See, you can't explode on that side. So it's not the prettiest thing, but you know what? It works. So down here though, we do have an idle, and we have a jump, and we have a fall. So what if we have jump, and we can go from idle to jump if jump is true, and if jump is false, we'll go here. Oh, leave that one on. Nope, take that one off. We're going to do that one by code. So then we need a way to get back to here. So let's, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's make another one called fall. There we go. So let's do fall is true, and this guy can be fall is false. So kind of more of an unconventional way to set this up. No doubt about it. So how are we going to control that? We're going to control that with animation events. If you haven't used animation events, then this will be a phenomenal learning experience for you. Some good coffee. Since animation events are a beautiful way to control, oh man, so much on so many different levels, on so many different games. So let's say here we have an event called jump on. And here we have an event called, what am I doing here? In the events, called fall on. And grounded. So, if those events are called, what are we going to do? If jump on is called, we are going to make sure we set an animator bool. Of course it doesn't show up because that would make our life just too easy. Jump to true. And if we get fall on, we can set that one false, and we can set fall to true. And let's copy that one and bring it over here and set it to false. I know there's a lot of well, it kind of seems odd, but it's, I guess for this, because of the animations, I want as much control as we can get. Put it that way. Okay, so he is if it's false. Okay, so in these now, if we go back to our animation, and this time, well, let's dock it down here. We're going to need this. So we have events. Jump on. If we want to see our jumping animation on, then we can, oh yeah, see, like it doesn't like, in fact, there's another animator here. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So boss enter. So here we are going to hit this marker, add event. Actually, we're going to move it over just a touch bit. And we get this function. Send event jump on. Alright, so he comes down and no, we don't want jump on here. We're already in the air. We want fall on. Well, no, we're going to need to jump on to even get to the fall. Alright. I'm going to fix those up. Okay, so let's just say we need fall on. Spell it the proper way. So we need fall on, and we come down here and we hit, and when we hit, we want send an event, and we're actually going to call this one fall off. Fall on, fall off. Nice and clear. Okay, I'm going to go over to the I'll start from the top of the list, and let's go here and go just a frame into it. Send event. Where's my set? Oh, there it is. We'll say jump on. We're going to hit here, and we're going to say fall on. Okay, so if we're falling, we're obviously not jumping, right? So we've gone to a jumping, we're going to go to a falling, and here we're going to a fall off. Okay, that makes more sense, right? Okay, so we go, now we take off again. So here we are going to go jump on, and fall on, fall off, jump on, fall on, I don't know why I can't find it. You would think like it's in the same spot every time. Fall off. So there we have jump on, fall off, right? Kind of over and over and over again. Right, so this guy here, we have fall on, so he's gonna go falling. And then we have fall off. Okay, that's fine. Right, so here we can go send event. Oh. Jump on. We hit that halfway mark and we go fall on. The idols don't need anything. We can do stuff with the explode, but first, okay, so let's go back down to this guy's animator. So we know if we get a jump on, we're going to set jump to true. And if we get a fall on, we're going to set fall to true. Fall off, we set fall to false. Okay, so over here, we don't have a grounded, but we do have fall off. So if we jump, we want jump on. That one can go off just for good measure. We hit fall on, jump goes off, fall goes on. If we hit fall off, they can both just go off. let's just kind of briefly see how that looks. And obviously we didn't have a spot there. So special. Oh, definitely needs some tweaking, no doubt. Alright, let's bring that down. Make sure those are crisp and clean, especially ones like this one. Okay, so what we have is in here. We had, what was that? That was the enter go right. We had fall on. We never added in a fall off. Right? I think that's really probably all we missed. Take another quick look. So we see the boss. He is in his little world. We tell him special. Oh, our hero's dying. Okay. So let's put. I mean, I guess there's still more to do on that, but I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about making that perfect. I don't need to spend hours and hours on that. So that one will work. Let's take that and stick it under the boss. Zero it out. And it's good. And let's make it world. Don't play on awake. Get rid of that. Okay, so we need another one of these. An event. We're going to call it explode. And if we get explode, we are going to tell this guy to play. And let's play an audio. I don't think any explosions are going to do any kind of justice. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so there's that. And we need a way to call this, right? So if he jumps over, he does his whole flashing thing right here. We are going to add an event called explode. All right. Let's just briefly look at how that looks. So there's our boss, and we're going to tell him to explode, and he didn't do anything. Okay, is this... Oh yeah, no, it's definitely there. I imagine it's because of the scale. That's an easy fix. Right, it's because it just got told to explode. Yes, sees nothing. And if I hit play, oh yeah, I guess we need that too. I wonder if that's what screwed that up. Let's see if that's what screwed that up, because that very well could have been it. And no, it wasn't it. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to unattach that. And it's good just the way it is. We should pool it technically, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. And you guys should be fully capable of being able to pool that if needed. So let's not play, but instead we are going to create that at that spawn point and store. Just going to give that a variable. Destroy object underneath the create. Destroy this one. I don't know why I used 1 after, I don't know, 4 seconds. Alright, let's see what happens. I am curious on why that isn't working. I wonder if that's, well, probably because I got that. There we go. Okay. So, I mean, it works. So what do we need? We need a way, for when he's jumping, for him to hit the player, and for, like, say, if the explosion to hit the player, right? So on our player, where's our player? We know we have health FSM that has damage. And we have to send the hurt by, right? So on our explosion then, when he explodes, he needs a way to damage the player. So he needs, I'm just going to put a circle. No. So I can do a trigger. I think an overlap sphere cast might be a little on the excessive side for this. Normally that's what you would do. We're only ever damaging one person though. So I think the easiest thing to do is get or find game object, player, and variable player. Okay, because our player is named player, right? Yes, it is. Okay. So if we find player, then we can do distance from owner to player, distance to player, and don't need it every frame, float compare, and if the distance is, and we'll probably have to adjust this, if distance is less than, I don't know, say 3, distances in the 2D part of the 3D world are much different. So damage, if greater, no damage. So damage and no damage. And because I don't like that, I'm just going to do that. And next frame. So we're going to get the player, get the distance, check our distance. If it's no damage, it's just going to go away. But if it is sneaky, if it is damage, we need to set event data, because we have to tell the player who we are. So get owner as self, set game object data as self, and send event. Move that to the bottom of player health and global damage. Just like that. So, right now if okay, we know our player spawns here. I'm going to bring this in just to check this. And I'm going to deactivate it so it doesn't just blow up right away. So our player is there. Now if I activate this, we get an explosion. And we know the distance of the player was a 2.3. So he took damage. 2.3. So we're saying if it's a 4. So the explosion center is here, and that's a 2.3. And I'm saying there. So 2.32, I think I don't know, say 2.25 is probably as far as we're going to want to go. Right? And, you know, it damaged the player. So perfect. So let's set that to 2.25. No, yeah, okay. And if you want to make it harder for the players, you know, by all means increase that. If not, we'll decrease that. So what's one of the other things we need? So he can now explode and he can roll. And we know that if the player jumps with this, we have this thing, to hit object, send damage. So we need an FSM called health with an event called damage, just like the normal enemies, right? And that's what we want. So on this guy, we need an FSM called health, and we need an event called damage. And we'll do the logic after. So if the player jumps on him, we can cause damage. So, okay, and if the boss is rolling, if he collides, or if he's jumping and he collides, that should work, right? if we collide, the player has a rigid body, collision event 2D, collision tag player only, we have hit player, store the player we hit. Now that doesn't necessarily mean we want to damage the player, right? So the other thing we're gonna need is a bool is attacking. Okay. And up here, we are going to say attack on and attack off. Now, if we go over to Crazy Hop Right, when we do this jump, we can say at, say, that stage, we have attack on. And we come down, and we might as well just leave it on the whole time. And when we hit, I don't know, even say here, we can say attack off. And if we do this guy, we can do the same thing. Attack on, does a big crazy roll, and attack off. Okay, so the idea of what that is if we get the attack on, did I put that in? I put that in here, right? Yes, is attacking. Okay, so the idea is if we get attack on, we need to tell this thing we are attacking. So we need to set FSM bool is attacking to true. Copy, paste is false if we're on the off. Right? Because if, for example, we take damage, we need to bool test. Because we're going to take damage anytime the player lands on us. Right? But if we also want to collide with the player, we need to know if we're attacking, more or less. So if we're attacking, then no damage. If we're not attacking, then we're not necessarily going to take damage, but we'll go to the next phase anyways. So, and by phase wise, I'm going to add a timer, damage timer. And all this guy is going to do is have a float, add damage timer, add 1 every frame per second. And we go back over to health. Now we're going to get FSM FSM flow. Is there an FSM flow compare? There probably is on the ecosystem. Would be a lot easier, but hey, I'm not that concerned about it. So we're going to get the damage timer variable stored as damage timer, a whole lot of damage timers, and if damage timer is, say, greater than 3, 2.5. If it's greater, then we're going to take damage. We're going to just use that same event. No, this is a horrible thing. I almost screwed this up. Okay, notice how I have damage here coming in, and to boot, this is a global, right? But I have damage here. If we were to run this, when this damage comes in and calls, this would call and actually fire this one, which would come into here, which would fire this one, which would come into here, which would fire. You kind of get the idea. So let's do a new event. Let's say take damage. Well, let's change that because that's going to cause us issues if we don't. Okay, so if we're greater, we're going to take damage. And if we're less, then no damage. No damage, go up here, go away. But if we take damage, okay, now we can int add. Now we'll make a new one for the boss's health. We're going to add -1, and we're going to int compare, and if health is equal to 0, he is dead. If it's less than 0, he is also dead. If it's greater, then we'll do nothing. And we'll do that. So we're dead, or do nothing. And if we're dead, well, we'll figure that out after. So we have to end the level, and save the level, and, I don't know, maybe shoot out a whole whack of coins or something like that. Okay, so, oh, that's the other thing we got to do. So if damage timer is less and we're taking damage, then we also need to reset our timer and put that above the compare, or else it won't hit. Okay. So same thing with this is we need to, we've collided with the player. We need to get FSM bool of ourselves is attacking bool test. So if is attacking is true, then, okay, first of all, if we're not attacking, you can just go way up into here, and we're going to put a next frame event, sneak it in right there. And if we are attacking, however, then we want to set event data, which also means we need to get owner, which is our self, and we need to set the event data, game object data, as self, send event to player health, damage. And then we can go into, say, await, and the player has his kind of immortality thing happening anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And we'll just go over there. Probably didn't even need the wait, but whatever. Okay, so I don't know. Let's give that a small test just to see where we're at. Okay. Whoa, that's crazy. So here we go in our little cave. We hit our little lever, and that's got some prefab issues because we did our prefab thing, so we gotta fix that. Ooh. Man, it should be nice to have some music on this thing, eh? Whoa. Okay, so we're just going to briefly cheat. So the boss wall we want is open. And it does its little thing. We come in. It closes. Now, I also had no control there, so I literally just ran over. And that's weird. So he is there, but he's not there. So that's probably a Z issue. Oh man, he is big, eh? I realize how big he actually is. So we give him a few pows. Okay, let's see if that's actually done anything. So we have, of course, our damage timer is running, and it's obviously been down here, or else it wouldn't have gone this far. And there it is. We have damage, we're at -2, so he is taking damage. So that's good. Let's go boss specials, and let's say special. There we go. And let's move him back over here. And let's do our explode. Okay, that's working. Oh, he's totally got me trapped. I'm forever trapped. Okay, well, okay, it's working anyways. That's the main part. So we should probably fix this real quick. So we have the one issue with this guy. Right, so he has the trigger key he's going to send this event to activate scene. So first we need to variabilize that one. Is that a word, variabilize? Right, because we have this guy. So this is main. You know what we can do? We can't call it camera, but we can call it main camera system. Right? There we go. And now we can go to our little lever. And we get this stuff, and we can say get or find game object, going to have that. We're going to store it as main. Move this to the top. And this guy is going to be the main. What was the name of that stupid thing? Oh, main. Yeah, probably should have thought of that. Okay, so the name is main. Okay. Let's just make sure that part works very quickly. Run away as fast as we can. Poor little camera. Little on the slow side. Okay, so there we have. You notice I also can't control the player. Okay, so the main is doing its thing, and it is most likely another prefab issue. So let's see what's happening. It's moving toward. Oh yeah, see, it doesn't have that one little variable. And this is why you wouldn't typically do this on the player. So what we're going to do is level. It's going to have a special tag called manager. And the manager has things. So we need what's in our land. So we have boss wall, and I think we need that as a variable. And lever, let's crank up, crank down. But there is a game object we made. Oh, it's a shadow caster. Oh, right there. Camera marker. I don't know why I put them there. This is what disorganization does to you. So let's call so we have boss wall, player prefab. So on this guy, when he does this portion, right, he is talking to himself, and that's all fine. He needs to know who to move towards. So he's going to move towards a event object, which is going to be empty. And he does that. And set animator bool on event animator. We do the shake, sound, player moving, disabled, player, and player. So on this main system, on an FSM, we need to set those two variables, which we're going to hold those into this guy, right? We have the marker, and we have the wall. So on the lever, audio play, sure. I thought we had an audio source there. Whatever. So he's already getting the main, right? And he's telling it to activate scenes. So what we also want to do is set FSM game object. Move him below that, but near the top. So on the main, oh god, I'm trying to think of all these names now. It's just called FSM. Just an FSM, event animator, event object. So FSM event animator is going to be event animator. And copy and paste before event object. Is that what we called that? Man. Event object. I think that's what we called that. So what happens when your brain doesn't work? Yeah, event object. It's working. See, I told myself. I knew that. Okay, so the lever, now when it's activated, will take care of that, except the lever needs to know what those things are. Luckily for us, we can turn around and say, you know what this event object is? The event object is, because I don't know what it is the camera marker. No, the event object is the camera marker. The event animator is the boss wall. Right, so he's part of the level. So now that little activation scene, which is why I said in the beginning, like it's normally you wouldn't kind of set cutscenes up like that because it's not prefab friendly and stuff. And that's exactly why. So if we come down here and if we now hit this, we get our sound, it opens. We go back. Perfect. So oh, look at that. It's almost like I'm good at this all the time. Oh, you son of a... Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Come on. Oh. Why did we make such a hard game? Oh. Lord, 100. Okay, you know what? Screw you. You are going up there. Why? Because I have the ability to do so. There you go. Aha. Hey. Oh yeah, that's right, our frog. We gotta fix that frog. His Z is weird. Alright. So that part's all starting to work. So okay, let's fix that frog Z. Actually, I almost think the scale's a little too big, but if I start playing with the scale too much, it's gonna really screw with some stuff. So I don't really want to do that too much. But our boss needs, obviously, logic to when to do these things, right? So first of all, let's add a canvas underneath our boss specials. And let's just bring this guy in for briefly so we can see this. Let's add a slider. And let's get rid of the handle. Let's make the background more of a dark red. And let's do the fill area with a nice pretty red. Go width 0, fill area 0, 0. Okay, so there's that. Let's say, I don't know, 30. Give them the value of 30. I'll use whole numbers because I like integers. And let's move that. Where should we stick the boss health bar? Like there? Or should we do like more of the like bottom to top style, almost kind of like a Mega Man thing happening like that, right? I don't know, totally up to you where you want to stick that thing. Doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna stick it right here, I guess. Okay, so every time this guy takes damage, actually we're going to go right here after that and that, no damage, and yeah, okay, so let's get rid of that. So if we are here, we need to set our own slider value to our health. Plain and simple. Now the other thing we are going to do is we are actually going to deactivate him completely. And we can get rid of him. So this boss entry, when this is triggered, right? So we've told the player to enable. We are then going to tell this object, holy crap, don't do that. Oh man. Okay. We're going to tell this object to activate. There we go. And let's save that. So boss special. So boss logic. Now you could very easily say bool is right. So we know we start on the right. And we could very easily just do random weight and go, I don't know, say 3 to 6 seconds. Is that going to be too long? And we're going to go over here and do a bool test is right. So we are on the right and we are on the left. Oh Lord, thunder and Jesus. So if we're on the left, we can spell things totally horribly and then correct them. We can say we're on the left, we know we have special, and that's all we have. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to wait for 1.5 seconds, finish, and just come back over here. But if we are on the right side, we are going to random event, send random event, I like this one because it has the weights. We have explode and we have special. So let's give explode like a small chance and special a much higher chance. So explode and special. So if we explode, we are going to do this same thing. Actually, let's just copy that. Only this one's going to be called explode. And I should probably wait a little longer anyways. And then we can go back over here and we can copy that, paste that, and if it's special, then we can just special and wait 1.5. Is that what we did over here? Yeah. Like that. And save. And let's give that a whirl and see what our little boss guy looks like. I don't know why that's doing that. Alright, so there's that. We got our wall. We're coming back. You silly rat. Whoa, don't hit me. Whoa. Oh my god, not this again. Oh my god, I did it. Look, I'm actually good. Oh, we gotta fix the health bar position. Oh. That wasn't very cool of you. You big bully. Oh. That went something horribly wrong with his health. Oh, that timing of that is crazy. Alright, so let's where's this guy? Yeah, boss logic. So that's obviously way too long. We need to bring that way down. The canvas, which I probably should have said scale with screen size, and I didn't. That's probably why it's doing that. And where is our boss health? So we're at negative. Oh, right, you know what? I don't think we ever actually really gave him any kind of decent health, did we? So we add. Right, like what is our health starts at 0. Well, whoops. Let's start the health at 30, how about? That's probably a little better. Let's bring this down to 1 to 3, cutting that essentially in half. Let's bring this down to a 2.5, a 1, and a 1. And let's go over to the animator. So this explosion was pretty quick. I'm gonna cut that down here. Okay. Of course, they all need sound effects, but you know, let's do scale with screen size now. I'm just gonna briefly hit play and just see where that health bar goes. So it's there. So let's move. And look at our little boss. Just kind of doing his own thing. Let's Let's expand this. Let's make it this big epic thing. Roar, we're a big mean boss. Copy that. There we go. Let's come out of there. And slider and paste. Canvas will scale screen size. Okay. I am briefly cheating. Just because I need a handicap. Alright, so what if we create something for when the boss dies? Actually, let's check the timer. Oh my god, we're an hour and a half. That's crazy. Well, alright, so I mean, I think it's actually probably pretty good. I mean, a few tweaks, the boss is there. I don't know if I should really do another video on doing some sort of crazy boss fight. I mean, really, it's there. I mean, if you're following along, if you're doing the same thing, you can do your own little boss fight. But what I do want to do is go into our, say, coins, like that. And I am going to, do we have iterate? No. No, we do not. Do we have logic that can do it? No. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go quickly to the ecosystem. There's a little action called iterate. I love this little action. It's actually an old action, but I love it either way. So what we can do is iterate, at the end index. Would 10 coins be good? Let's go like 20 coins. And loop. And done. And done. And when we're done, we don't want this to happen again. So we're going to enable FSM. This is the health. Let's disable that. So during the loop, we are going to create a coin, and these guys have triggers, and they do not have rigid body. So because I was thinking of just shooting them up in the air and let them fall and hit the ground. Which, I mean, I guess I could just go here. No. Well, thinking ahead, I mean, well, hindsight, if I made the coins originally and not put the trigger here, but made this like a rigid body, even if it was chromatic, and then put them in the level, but then have a child of that had the trigger, so you collect them as is like that, the way they are, but have the ability to take it off the climatic and use the gravity and shoot them. Would have been something cool. So we can create a coin at get position 2D self vector self position vector 3 add vector to add xy self position. We're going to add x floats at the top. So this one's going to store as X, this one's going to store as Y. Negative 2.5, 2.5, 0.25 to 2. Okay, so just to cheat, I'm going to take the player. Spawns down here because it's instantiated. Oh, it's a crazy health bar. Might be a little big. Oh my god. Well, he's definitely tough. Probably add some abilities in there, which I haven't done that. Is add the like a player ability, like shooting stuff or doing homing missiles or something like that. So I kind of really do want to see that health though. What if we drop his health and kill him? I'll just give him 2 health. I'll quickly just grab the player. So, I mean, overall though, I mean, I really don't want to extend this to some crazy level. I don't know if it's really worth doing a whole nother video. Oh my god. You son of a bitch. Okay, tell you what. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to cheat very hard because apparently I made this super hard. Obviously needs a ton of tweaking. Okay, so there's the boss. And I am taking away your logic. Now you can stand there and take it. There we go, so we dies, we got our coins. I mean, they kind of went everywhere. So it would have been better off to do put physics on the coins, I think. But I'm not that worried about it right now. And then, of course, the boss would need a death animation, maybe do some explosions, slow down time. We also didn't do a pause thing. Not that it's hard. You hit a button, scale time, delta time to 0. Or not delta time. How's that called? Yeah, just scale time. Right? You hit like if you hit escape, you know, you go down here. You hit escape again, you go back up to 1. Kind of idea. But I think that's probably good. A hell of a long video. Obviously the boss isn't really fully complete yet, but I mean, you definitely get the idea, right? And add sounds, a lot of tweaking to do. Definitely been kind of a longer tutorial series. It's got to be like 8-9 hours now. So anyone who's made it this far, you are epic. That is a lot of video of me rambling on about crazy, weird dev stuff. So thanks much for watching, and I will probably do another tutorial series starting, well, within 24 hours, or if not, within 48 hours. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.